Hello, my apologies for not having this up yesterday. I was on Facebook and accidentally clicked on something and it shut my whole computer down. And it reset the computer back to factory default, and one of the things that I lost in the deal were my picture files. And that's where my videos imported to are from once I ran them through the editor. And needless to say, I was super upset about the whole deal. More so upset that my pictures were gone. And thank God my brother knows way more about computers than I do, and he was able to get my pictures back. Last night I went into work for a few hours because I owed a coworker, and he got my picture files back, and I'm so thankful for that because I have pictures on there of people and pets and stuff like that. Some of them are no longer a part of my life, but now I've got to go back in and get back into everything I was a part of, because it just totally wiped everything out. I mean, it went back to default. My desktop, which is usually full of things I use for projects and projects I made and all that, and stuff, was just completely wiped out. So I did get back into YouTube yesterday, but with Kitty being gone, and it being a whole week now since we've seen her, and my picture file being gone, I was a wreck. So even though I did get back into YouTube, I didn't post the video, and I'm sorry, but it's just like when it rains, it pours, and I'm having a monsoon right now. And so anyway, here's today's video, and hopefully I don't ever make that mistake again, because I know he spent hours locating that picture file, because he said there were a lot of files that I had on my computer. I guess you never realize how many files you have on your computer until something like this happens. And so, yeah, it took him, I'm sure, quite a while to locate those specific files and bring them back. So, anyway, thank you for your patience, and I am very sorry I didn't get it up yesterday, but I've got totally overwhelming. And yeah, so thank goodness my brother knows how to retrieve things, because if it had just been me, they'd have been gone forever. So anyway, here's the video, and thank you. So here we are back at the farmhouse, and I've got the window in. Like I said, not perfect, but I'll take it. I also cut a piece of poster board to go over the wall, and I've got the little pliers that are holding it up because it's not exactly tight around that window frame, but I'll fix that when I decide what I'm going to do with it. So just so you can see a little bit, there's the floor in and the window frame. Unfortunately, I'm not able to put the walls in yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with that back part back there. However, we can start working on the one wall today, so let's get started. What I thought we could do today is, I have this ginormous subway tile that I got from the UK, and like I said, I don't know if theirs is bigger than ours, but this is pretty good sized, and I know that I want to use this around the bottom of the walls. I'm thinking about maybe only going up maybe 3 inches, probably. I think might be a good size. Here's my old beat up ruler. So if we went, get it the right way, you can barely see those. If we went 3 inches, that would put me to there. And I think that might be okay. Maybe we'll go 3.5. Maybe 3.5, I think. Yeah. Let's go 3.5 on that. And we'll get this wall, we'll get part of the wall done anyway. I'm still not sure if I want to find and wallpaper is going to be so hard because our floor has such a busy pattern. So I'm thinking about painting, but I'm just not quite sure what color I want to paint. So, and I may, since I have this, I should just go ahead Do I have enough poster board though? That's the thing. I don't know if I have enough poster board. I've got some somewhere, I think. Or maybe not. I was thinking about redoing that. But if I could find just a very small pattern wallpaper, I think it would be okay to go ahead and use. Got this seam here, and wallpaper would definitely cover that up, where I don't think paint would. And I want to use some decorative strips in there, but I'm not sure that this is in a good place for that. So, I'm not seeing any poster board, but I think, unless there's some down here, I have stuff everywhere, but yeah, I'm not seeing any right now, any pieces big enough to do this one more time, and I don't have anything really close where I can get more. I did stain the door. Let me show you that while I'm here. It's drying right now. I'm using the Waverly Antiquing Wax on the door. I think it looks pretty good. So, yeah, we're just going to wait for that to dry. I was hoping we could go ahead and install that today too, but I just don't know. What we can do, though, is we can go ahead. This is a wall that's going to be the hallway wall on the outside and the bathroom wall on the inside. And we can go ahead and start doing that one for sure. So I said about 3.5 inches on that. So that's what we're going to do. Don't like this paper cutter. It's Cricut's paper cutter. I am not a fan. I'm really not. Let's see, which side do I want? I guess they're both pretty evenly cut. I think I'll go this way. So let's get this in the paper cutter, see if we can get it to lay down, and see if I can get a straight cut. I don't like this paper cutter. Okay. This blade is rather dull. That's okay. I'm hoping to be able to trim the edge up here. So let's get this wall that we can do over here. Make sure I have the right side. It goes in one way. At least that's how I designed it. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and glue this down. And then whether I decide to paint or I decide to paper, I can still do that up here. It's embossed, so it's got a kind of shiny surface to it. And it really wants to roll up, so it's going to have to be weighted down. Let's see, how much of it do I need? Another good question. It's looking like about 6 3/4 inches exactly. So let's cut it at 6 3/4. Let's get the 3.5 inch piece, which has rolled away. So let's cut it at 6 3/4. Because that's what it's looking like it needs to be cut at. As I said, I don't have a lot of room. I've got myself kind of boxed in right now. Not good, I know, but you know me. Gotta get this craft room cleaned out. I joined an online group for the local area, and I'm hoping I can get rid of some of my paper crafting supplies, and I think that is really going to help a lot. So, all right, so that looks like about 6 3/4 right there. Let's hope I cut right. Okay. I can use that little piece. On the other side, I'm going to attempt to do this with tacky glue. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we're going to give it a good try. I think as long as we weight it down, we should be okay. All right. We're just going to put on a big bunch of tacky glue. I really want this to stick. And let's just glue it right to this. The floor stuck okay, so I'm hoping. And you know, this cardstock likes to, it's very absorbent, so of course it's paper. And so I'm hoping that we will be able to get this to stick down flat. You can hear my cat Ash out there. He wants out, but it's supposed to rain, and it's really cold and windy out. But he likes being outside. Anyone who's wondering, I still haven't found the other. I think I'm going to have to just stop stressing myself out so bad. I mean, it's hard because I love her. She's very special. But I think I'm just going to have to realize that someone probably took her. And because there's been no, I put up flyers, I've got it all on social media, and there has been no sightings of her since last Friday night. So she's been gone almost a week now, and I don't like to be pessimistic, but my hopes of finding her are getting smaller by the day. So I'm going to let that all sit there and hold this down, and we'll come back when it's dry. I've retrieved it, and we're going to keep gluing. Don't want to get that in the glue. That'd be a good idea. Like I said, I've got so much up here on this table. And this table is where the farmhouse was supposed to be moved to. However, with all the junk I've got up here from crafting, yeah, I've got a mess going, and so there's so much stuff up here right now that I can't even, there's no way the farmhouse is going to come in here at this time. He really was gonna, and then I'm like, oh, a bigger spot to craft, because on my other table I've got Grandma's house sitting, and yeah, so instead of moving Grandma's house, I'm like, oh, I'll just craft a little bit on here and keep everything picked up, but this wall thing has become such a deal that, yeah, I haven't gotten Grandma's house moved. And this is a little too long, however, I'm going to, oh, that's not what I wanted to do either, is it? Oh, let's do something before it dries. Yeah, I gotta move it down. But I have this tile here, so that didn't work either. I wasn't thinking when I did it, because I know I have to leave that space, but I wasn't sure how much space to leave either. So let's try that again. Let's just match them up, because they're going to be, you know, corners. Yep, a little bit further if I can still move it. It's sticking good. I was worried about it not wanting to stick. I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's sticking tight already. So let's see, did I get it lined up now? I just got to remember that, yeah. Okay, that's lined up. Let's check our other side here. And I know you won't be able to see this, but I'm just trying to make sure that everything is lined up pretty good. And it seems to be. So we're going to go ahead and stick some weight on there. And get that all glued down, and then I'll cut off this excess over here. And we'll have some tile on our walls. So I'll be back in a little bit when that's done. So we are back at the farm, and I've just kind of propped the walls up in there just so you could see how it's looking. Yeah, there's a couple ripples in my subway tile, but I'm hoping I might be able to take them loose and smooth them out a little bit. And this side, everything is just propped up. That wall is not glued, but I did prop the door up by it so you could see what that was going to look like. I think it's going to be cute when we get it done. I hope so anyway. So I'll see if I have some more of the embossed subway tile, which I'm hoping. And we'll get that on that other wall over there. And yeah, it's starting to shape up. Just need to figure out what we're going to do with the top part of it, and the walls, I mean, and get that other wall figured out, and we'll have the bathroom in. So I hope you're liking what you see so far with my putting the walls in. I just thought we'd fit them together and see how they looked, and just kind of stick the door over there so you could see how that looked. And honestly, I think it's going to be really cute when we're done. I'm going to put just a thin row of blue tile across the top, I think is my thing. And I'm not really sure, so I'll have to print out what I'm going to use for the tiles for that and put them on and just see how, you know, it's going to look. I think I'm going to put something glossy, maybe just some gloss Mod Podge over these subway tiles because they just don't seem to be quite shiny enough. I'm not sure. I'll probably do that off camera because it's going to be kind of a tedious job, I think. And I've got some glue on these, so I'm going to need to take that off. Oh, it's not wet anymore. Okay, so I may print out those tiles and come back just to show you what I'm thinking of. Because, you know, a lot of times on the older walls, there was the main tile like we were using the subway tile, and then there was the little strip of decorative tile up at the top. So I'm going to go print that out, print out what I've got anyway, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this is where I'm going to need your help on this little project. I have printed out some little tiles to go along the top, and from what I printed out, I have probably, you know, let's turn this around so it's right side up for you. I've probably chosen these as my two choices because the other ones I don't think will work so well. Let's get that over. Okay, so what I want to know is what do you think? Okay, and these tiles are sheets. You can print full sheets or you can just print off, like these are just strips. And I got those from Tasman Bassett Art on Etsy. She also has a YouTube channel where she does some miniatures, so if you got time, stop over and check out her channel. That's Tasman, T-A-S-S-M-I-N, or T-A-S-M-I-N, I can't remember, Bassett Art on YouTube. Alright, so my first choice, and this I think is the one I really like, are these little tiny swans, and they would go right up on top of there. I would make them look like tile, not just a strip of paper. Let's see how far we can get you in and still have the camera work. Oh, no, not that far. That's too far. Okay, I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Sorry about that. And those are little tiny swans on there. I think they're really cute. My other choice were these, and I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to be. I think there's some sort of little flower thing. And yes, I do believe the blue goes at the bottom, looking at the printout. So there's that. Personally, I really like the swans. I like the color of the blue a little better. This is a little more teal or turquoise, but I still like it. So let me know what you think. As I said, I will make these raised up so that they look like tiles. So I think this is probably going to wrap up our video. It was a little lame today, but you got to see kind of what the bathroom's going to look like when it all comes together. And I really need your help picking the tiles because I'm kind of torn. There are other ones. I'm going to show you the other sheets or the other ones that can be chosen. A lot of these printed out a little more teal, like these up here. These are more blue. This one is supposed to look like old tiles. Really old, and then there's those, which look more blue on here than they do on the screen. So anyway, let me know what you think of those tiles and which one you would use if it were your house. And I will see you Tuesday at 3 o'clock will be the new day for the boho project. I have decided that, so we will see you next Tuesday at 3 o'clock when we continue with the boho. Thank you so much for joining me, and you all have a great day.